and to akase bono so na de kwa koginem e wo ye the National Democratic Congress ni amanyoko NDC na ze hofra ba beto e ho any sent ne yese eye Owura Jakpa ana ono no na ye the third accused adema eye Owura Atoforsen ana ono na ye the the victim of the ambulance scandal just say busuafo emre bi atwa mu be 2 weeks ni edi atese wo Ghana mem hanoma na enya asem kweto na eye Owura Jakpa yi ene sem bia beto abonten na Richard Jakpa yi de sem bia beto abonten ani nyina ene sent na eye enema wono bi aye NDC for aya eno no eye contrary to the ambulance scandal na busuafo police for aya the pan ye fi some the next from investigation enya asem kweto
with the ambulance matter and demonstrate how he has occasioned financial loss to the state. What is the point about his military stuff? Now, when we get to it, I will repeat the point that I've been making, that sometimes time helps us to understand people's motives and the things that people do. Now, when we are getting to this part of the trial in the ambulance case, we are now beginning to understand why some people, especially some of the accused persons, wanted the trial curtailed, and why they hired Johnson Asidun Katia and Samiji Mfi without telling them the truth, without telling them who they are, without telling them their character. They hired Samuel Jemfi and Asidun Katia to help the cause, to make this very political, to paint the case in political colors, green versus blue, so that Ghanaians will be divided along the political situation for the case. The purpose of doing all that, it appears, was to obscure the things that we are now discovering, because somebody was aware that if this case travels the natural course, Ghanaians will begin to discover something that will make them very, very uncomfortable about some of the people. And this is the point. Because they knew that if the case travels its natural course, we will get to a place where people will now begin to wonder what really happened. And by the grace of God, we are getting to the place where people are seeing things that we didn't even know existed. Now, let's get to the touch screen and check it out. So today, Jakpa and his military background came up. I put up the Evidence Act here so that, as I was saying, people will understand why it's a life of somebody. So, for instance, if you have a case with Paul Adom Otchere, and then you can go and say that, okay, when Paul Adom Otchere was in ßreak, okay, ßreak was I at the age of majority? Yes, some parts of it not, yes. So the age of majority, you know, sometimes when the lawyers are speaking on radio and they say the age of majority, the media try to correct them and say maturity. The language that is used in the Matrimonial Causes Act is the age of majority. It's not maturity. 18 and above is called in the Matrimonial Causes Act the age of majority. That is the time that you can make a decision. So if I've gone beyond the age of majority, they can always bring what I did once I was past the age of majority and say that this is the character of the man. Let's look at the Evidence Act. It's in section 53. Evidence of character not admissible to prove conduct. Okay. Evidence of a person's character or a trait of the character of that person is not admissible to prove conduct in conformity with that character or trait of character on specific occasion, except A, in a criminal action. Evidence of the character or trait of the character of the accused when offered by the accused to prove the innocence of the accused, or by the prosecution to rebut the evidence previously introduced by the accused. Viewers, sorry about the language, it's a bit very legal, but they're saying that the evidence of character is admissible in a criminal action where it has to prove something. Okay, so now we understand why this character is important. It's a criminal trial, and the character is coming in as aid to the prosecution to demonstrate that the accused person they are dealing with, Jakpa, has a very bad previous character, and that is perhaps what is evidencing what is being evidenced in the trial, and what he evidenced in doing what he did, which has brought him to the court. All right, updates from the ambulance trial today. Let's get on with it now. So Thaddeus Sorry, lawyer for Richard Jakpa, subpoenaed the military secretary, Air Commodore Edu Jemfi, to speak to certain documents and provide same, which were documents that formed the basis for the dismissal of Jakpa from the Ghana Armed Forces. You remember that during his cross-examination, the Attorney General raised the issue with Richard Jakpa that why were you dismissed from the Ghana Armed Forces? And then he spoke about it. And then Jakpa had interviews with the media and told the media that he was completely innocent and that he was maltreated by the army and he has done nothing wrong. And that he told the media that his lawyers are going to bring the soldiers into the court. They're going to bring the armed forces into the court for them to come and justify the letter they wrote, which I read here, signed by the learned General Ahiaglo, who is passed to eternal glory. That's what Richard Jakpa said. He said that he was going to bring the soldiers. His lawyers were going to subpoena. True to his word, his lawyers did subpoena the military to come into the court. This is what happened. Lawyer for Jakpa, strangely, did not ask the witness to tender the evidence, but rather asked whether he, the witness, gave the documents to the Attorney General, which question the witness answered in the negative. So the Tadiosori, when the case came up today, and they had subpoenaed the army that come to us with these documents. When the army came with the documents in the court and presented the documents to the court, lawyer for Jakpa did not ask the witness to tender the evidence. He didn't invite the witness that we want to add this to the evidence. Why didn't he do that? Lawyers do that to want to add it to the evidence when it will aid their case. When a lawyer sees that this material will aid my case, he will ask the permission of the court. My lord, want to add it to the evidence. There may be objection from the other side. If there's no objection, or if the said objection is overruled, the court will admit it in evidence. When the court admits it in evidence, it means it will form part of the judge's decision-making process. Now, Tadiosori asked the military to come to the court because they believe that, and Jakpa has convinced them that whatever the military has documented about him is incorrect. And Jakpa told that to the media as well. So his lawyer confidently asked the military, subpoena them to the court. The military come to the court today. They have all the documents with them. It is presented to the court that this is the document. This is what happened. This one will go into all that. These are the things that occasioned his dismissal. Tadiosori, who wanted the people to come to court, does not ask the witness any question. The witness speaks, and he's now open for questions from all the lawyers. The lawyer who subpoenaed the witness does not ask the witness any question. It's not that it's never happened before, but it means something. It means something. It means that the lawyer was convinced that this material evidence that the military has brought to court does not aid the case of the prosecution. And that's why he didn't ask questions, because in asking questions, he would deepen the process, and then it will be more grave. The offenses that Jakpa may have committed against the military may be grave if you now ask questions and the guy starts to explain it. The Attorney General, however, asks questions. The only question that Tadiosori asked the military man was that, you, Mr. Colonel, are you the one who gave the documents to the Attorney General? And the Colonel said, no, I didn't give it to the Attorney General. Eventually, it was found in the court that the documents were given to the Attorney General upon request by the Minister for Defense. It was the Minister for Defense who handed over the documents to the Attorney General. But that's the only question Tadiosori asked. That's the only thing he was interested in. That, are you the one who gave it to the Attorney General? And the officer said, this is a military colonel, he's not a small boy, very senior officer. He said, no, I didn't give it to the Attorney General. And he didn't. Soldiers don't do that. Soldiers don't give documents. They give it to their boss. The soldiers work in a very meticulous way. They don't do that and give something to Attorney. No. They'll give it to their boss. The army commander says, bring me the documents. You send it to the army commander. If he says, go and give it to the Minister of Defense, he'll go and give it to the Minister of Defense. If he says, go and give it to the military secretary, he'll go and give it to the military secretary. Soldiers don't do that. They are not like that too. They are serious people. So I'm not sure what the lawyer was trying to get from the colonel. You're not going to get anything from the colonel. They come and they speak the truth. They put the documents and they are gone. That's about it. They don't have time for those things. Anyway, so that's what happened. Let's move on to get more information.